Let's start with Ger's event on the weekend. Tell me your first time hosting an event. Give me your review on how you felt the day went, your experience, what you learned.
I suppose how I felt the day went. I had one client say to me they brought their husband and their son, and the two lads had no real interest in going, but they left learning a lot and taking home a lot. So I think that's a big win when someone doesn't want to really be there and they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
So like that's a good sign there. My experience it would probably fucking riddled with anxiety. I'd say would be the big thing because like, obviously timekeeping, technology, all that stuff is kind of a little bit out of your control as well. But from what I've heard from other speakers at the event, like Sophia and a few others, are saying to me, they're like, "We're surprised it's actually your first event." They're like, she was saying my first event was like, an absolute car crash, and I was like, well, I'll take that. So as a good win. I had someone ask me, they're like, will you do another one? And I was like, yeah, maybe next year. I'm going to take a break from it because I was
wiped to recover.
I was wiped after it, man. Like even the after socials, like that was a heavy-ish night, but I've done bigger nights out. And Monday's the first time in like a couple of years I've had to take a nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I was absolutely zonked, but no, I'm happy with the way it went, and there'll be a lot I'll take from it going into future ones.
It's not even, like you said, you've probably had heavier nights out, but it's the exhaustion of like the whole day of like worrying and stressing about what will go wrong, and then the lead up to it as well, and then all the moving pieces of, oh, can I get this person here on time and make sure that they're staying here, and so on and so forth. So like, it's a lot. It takes its toll on you in the days leading up as well as the actual day.
Oh yeah, and like one of my mates said it to me then as well. He was like, take out the energy going into the event and stuff like that, but like we'll take the nine speakers that were at it, like the rest of them. One of my friends was like, it's essentially having 10 of you in a room firing all the time. So like it's not like you can have it's a bad way of phrasing it's like a break, but everyone's switched on to a certain level when you do what we do. So your social battery is huge. Like I think I only had like 2 minutes to sit down with a pint and food to take a moment to relax, and then you were back on it again. Like, so
Was there any moments in it during the day where you're like, I feel at ease now. I feel that I'm actually in the event and I'm enjoying it, versus I'm like outside of myself just thinking about what's next or what's going to go wrong?
I think when I did the screaming meditation before Kelly's one, I think that was the only one because I was like, right, I can just shout out my anxiety as well, which is the other side of it. So that made it easier. I don't think I got to reflect on the day until maybe until Monday properly. Like I said, that brief moment sitting down the social with a pint and food, kind of just had that wave of like just chill. The shoulders dropped a little bit, but I think now like I'll be looking back at all the talks. I'll be looking through it again. I think like this weekend I'm probably gonna have a better chance to like reflect on it properly.
If you could redo one, if you could redo it, is there anything you'd do differently?
Um, I wouldn't announce the schedule to anyone in the week leading up to it, so no matter what happened, you'd be fine.
Good show.
I think technology is the big one. Like I hate technology, even though we're working with it all the time. Like when I arrived over, like there was couldn't find the mics. Then in the middle of it, we had one of the speakers where the presentation wasn't swapping over, and I was just like, at that point, I was ready to throw my computer through the window. So I was like, getting rid of those little things out of your mind would make life a lot easier going forward in other events.
Yeah. Rob, what did you think? What was your experiences? What did you enjoy? Give us your experience of the day?
Overall experience was just how it just exposes makes you aware of how many amazing people there are in the industry. You see loads of people online that are just in it for the money and like posting for attention, etc., etc. And then you meet people like Kelly who have nearly 1 million followers, and you wouldn't know it in person. They're clearly there to just help people out and give their knowledge and be open and vulnerable to people and help other people do the same. And I think that's everyone that was talking was exactly the same. They were there to be vulnerable, there to help people out rather than, oh, I'm here to sell myself. It's like, I want to help you guys. I don't care about all of that stuff. So yeah, I think well picked group of people. Nice one, Jay. It's good.
Do you find from the we were saying that like IFS in 2019 or 2020 was the first event that you went to as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you find that going to like events by yourself are less daunting than after doing it once or twice? Because like I know that there's probably like lots of people who I would imagine it was the same in that room on Saturday where there was people that going to an event for the first time like that, like going to an education day or not really knowing what they're walking into kind of thing, kind of curious but not really sure what they're gonna get out of it or what their experience is gonna be. And then you kind of go to a couple of them things and you know what you're kind of expecting, so I think you're a little bit more at ease and you can kind of enjoy them a little bit more. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I'd agree as well. I think it completely depends on what your actual experience is on the day, but with events like the one this weekend, there's a lot of consistency, I think. Like IFS, the kind of people that I met there, well, some of them, well, yourself, for example, some of them would have been at that event as well, chatting to Sophia and everyone and Emmeline, like they'd been to IFS as well. So I think going to these kind of organised events from people that actually care, I think, yeah, like people telling you it's going to be fine, you're going to have a great time. A lot of the time, you don't really trust them with that because you're like, I need to experience this for myself first. But really, with these events, I could hand on heart just say anyone that turned up to them would enjoy it.
Do you think is there any kind of events that you think that you should go to that is outside of fitness that would tickle your fancy or put you out of your comfort zone, something that you would go alone to? Because you know the way it's like, all right, you go to, like someone who's maybe just starting their fitness journey, right? It would be a big deal for them to go to like a fitness event or a nutritional event and be like, oh, I'm gonna go to this thing and see what it's about, and I'm going by myself, and I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And maybe I'll meet people with similar values to me who are also on a fitness journey now, because I'm the only one in my group who is kind of on that journey. So it's like I'm trying to branch out and stuff like that. Do you think, because you have been in and around the fitness industry for a long time, like, well, I suppose, Jerry, you got out of your comfort zone on the weekend because you just pulled off a big event, so that's your little box tick.
Like I think I decided to do that in January.
Yeah.
I think it was on a call, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to message Carl, because I was like, if I tell Carl I'm going to have to do it, is the other side of it. And like I've been to the likes of Wellfest and other events like that, and I find like obviously like same for you with like IFS, the size of them makes it a bit more daunting. Like you held your event in Block with Neve O'Donovan. Was that last summer?
That was about a year and a half ago. The charity event, I think it was. The charity event,
it was sometime summer last year. That was the first event I've gone to on my own.
Was it?
Yeah, first event I've gone to. Like, obviously, I picked you up after a night out. Fucking like, yeah, of course they're gonna throw you under the bus. But like, outside of that, like, it was the first one I went on my own, and like, I was nervous about going to it.
Yeah, well, I've been more nervous about going to events on my own where I'm just like going but like I'm just there to like observe, versus some events where I've gone where I've had to like do a talk. Like I think that can be even more daunting, especially if it's your first or you're going into unknown territory. It's the uncertainty, isn't it?
I was
Well,
going to
like,
say, there's more unknown, isn't there? When you're going to an event that you don't know anyone, or even if you know them, you don't know what they're going to talk about. You're not part of the organization. You have no control, basically. It's all out of your control, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, like I suppose, like obviously, not, if you're not speaking at an event, you're not expecting to be called on. I know people get that idea when they're going to different events that what if they pick me out of the crowd to
Yeah.
answer a question or something like that, and it's like, like my event the weekend, other events we've gone to, the types of people running them, the speakers there, they know how to kind of read a room and judge who they're going to call on. And even like your event, Carl, like the whole idea of getting people out of their comfort zone and getting to know someone, like switching, or like I know myself and Rob didn't really switch around our tables. I think we decided we were going to hold
Yeah,
tough.
we're good. We're good.
We're good. We're good. We'd said hello to so many people at the start of the day that I was like, I've met everyone. I'm all right. I'm all right now. But like, I think people get that idea in their head when they're going to an event that you're going to be put on the spot. You're going to be singled out for something, or like, especially if you're like new to your fitness journey and you're going to a fitness event. That whole idea of not feeling like you belong.
Mm.
That's going to be daunting going to anything
Yeah.
like that. And I think
And
like
when you get picked, sorry.
like I think we all feel that way still going to certain things. Maybe not Carl, but like I know I do.
I definitely do. Not maybe not fitness events, but like other things.
Other things.
Yeah, I think with when you go to an event, especially if you're not full of confidence in that kind of area or that industry, the idea of getting picked on, I think, is quite daunting because it makes you feel like people are going to find out that I shouldn't be here. Whereas if I'm sat in the background and I'm not talking to anyone, it's fine because I'm just watching this big TV. But then you get picked on, you're like, oh shit, should I actually be here?
Oh, I have a good example. So last year I drove down to Tipperary, and I had no I went to watch it was like a 2 hour talk on some psychologist who was talking about Carl Jung, and I was sitting there with a load of there was like 100 therapists. I was like, how did I end up signing up for this? When did I sign up for this? Actually, I don't even remember. And I was sitting around and I was like, oh shit, I hope nobody asks me a question or talks to me, because they're gonna quickly figure out that I don't know what I'm doing here. So, and I went by myself as well. But it was fine. I just sat down and I just watched it, and I didn't interact with too many people. But yeah, that was a time when I got out of my comfort zone, I think, a little bit.
I also think people that go to these events forget that the people up on stage are also nervous. Like, it wasn't like everyone at my event was, oh, this will be fine, it'll be grand. I had a couple of people say to me, like, all right, let's see how this goes. And I'm looking at them going, oh, I wouldn't expect that from you at all. Like,
Really?
and I think I remember it was one of your client things we did, myself and Kelly. And I remember you telling me about doing that, and I was like, all right, yeah, great. I think I said to you, I was like, what the fuck am I going to talk to them about? And I think it was like a week or two before you told me Kelly was going, realised which Kelly you were talking about, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, why am I going with her? And I remember I was meant to be going second, she was meant to go first. On the day you were like, you were going first actually, and then Kelly was going. I'm like, oh Jesus, this is like I think it was the night before the event. I'd met friends and I'd said to them, I was like, so I have this on tomorrow, and they're like, what are you going to talk about? And I was like, everything. And they're like, what do you mean everything? I was like, basically like 28 plus years of demons. And they were like, so you're going to tell all these people like everything. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, is that not terrifying? And I was like, well, they're not my clients, so it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? I'm not going to lose anyone by doing it.
Yeah, just trauma dumping on a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, all your horror stories from nights out and things, just tell them everything like Grant.
Isn't that easier though as well to tell strangers about them things rather than like people that you know?
It's isn't it like the girls talk about a girl's bathroom on a night out, how you can make best friends with someone in there that you will tell them all your darkest secrets and never see them again.
Yeah. Or a lad that you met on a session and like talking to him at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You're my best mate.
You're my best friend.
And then you never see him again.
Never again to be seen.
But you find out you've just hallucinated them and they didn't even scratch yourself on the pavement.
Okay, we're gonna go back to being the name of the podcast that it is. We're going back to Reddit to answer a couple of questions, and these are these are all dedicated to Rob and Rob's current situationship. All right, so yeah,
or lack of.
What?
yeah, we're gonna.
What is the name of the podcast?
The name of the podcast is She's in the Way,
Oh,
but now we're gonna change it to She's Not That Into You.
Oh,
fuck. No, I prefer the other one, even though it pigeonholes us into a demographic. It doesn't hurt as much.
Well,
also, we might get you might get sued for the name of I think there's a film, isn't there?
yes, there is a name of a film called She's Not That Into You, I think. Is it? Yeah. Is Matthew McConaughey's in it? Is it? Is he? I think.
No, damn.
Oh, that's How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I think off the top of my head, but
that's good.
Yeah, we all know those movies, but I was thinking Failure to Launch.
All of the same. It's all the same meaning, isn't it?
Okay, so let's get into it. So write a question. So okay, this is called okay. So question: there's this girl I've been seeing for about 2 months. We've gone out 3 times. She has suggested a few of the dates. She also only messages me once every 48 hours. However, during those texts, she usually sends 10 to 15 messages. She also is only ever available for dates once every 2 weeks. On these dates, she tends to hang out with her friends before or after, and we haven't gone on a date longer than 4 hours. She also says she does not want to kiss until for a while. Cited her last relationship, she didn't kiss until around 6 months, and shies away from physical affection of any sort. She also will alternate paying with me, which I quite like. From my perspective, it seems like she's lonely and using dating as a pretext for company. That, or she doesn't really want the relationship, but her friends, family, society are pushing her to get into a relationship. What do you think?
Right, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. For me, obviously, I'll go with like if I was to look at it as anxiously attached, I would have looked at the texting and stuff and the frequency of dates as a worry. Then, like, the more like I've looked into that now the last while, I'd also see it that we all have fucking lives, and you know, we don't know the exact situation. It could be I can't talk to you now for a while, and then send 15 messages at a time.
Yeah, but is seeing someone only every 2 weeks a bit of a like flag, or is it just like a reflection of her lifestyle?
I think it depends on how far away from each other you live and what your lifestyle is. I think
and what's going on in life, man. Because like John, we had the event there at the weekend. I have to do a run on Sunday. There's 2 weeks there where like either what you're doing on a date or when you can do the date is going to change, and it doesn't mean it's going to line up. Like, you know, Saturday night might suit her, whereas
okay, let me flip it then. Would you be content with someone only going on a date with that you liked, only going on a date with you every 2 weeks and only messaging you every 48 hours?
No.
I try to be fair and not bring my fucking shit into it either. Like, that's the other side.
I think if it depends on, like, if it's 2 months, if you've not seen each other that much, it's still early days. Isn't
And
it?
also, let me just caveat that, because you probably forgot some of the things that I said. She also doesn't want to kiss for 6 months, and shies away from physical affection of any sort.
We both pulled faces when you said that the first time.
Like,
I think for us, I get the impression that's probably not ideal, but also at the same time, people have different physical boundaries, don't they? I would say that's shying away from it and a bit of anxiety around that physical affection, which could be a concern.
Probably shouldn't be dating then. Do you know, like, I get people have boundaries, and you, like, you know, people set up a time in their head, but like, not getting too physical is one thing. Not kissing for 2 to 6 months is another thing.
Well, all right.
I mean,
so
the amount of dates they're having, they're only kissing after the third date.
Here's another question for you then,
Oh,
right?
sorry. I think
At what point does slow dating become leading someone on?
That's a tricky one though, because they mightn't be leading you on. They just might be taking their time. You don't know. That's
Well,
where you have to find out.
that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, at what point does slow dating become leading someone on? In your perspective.
I suppose when it gets to the point for you that it's like it's frustrating. You know that things aren't moving forward. You don't know why it's not moving forward. I think that's the big one, not knowing what's going on. So like if there's no communication around why it's not happening or why certain steps aren't being taken as you're seeing each other for a certain amount of time, then it's a bit of a problem.
yeah, I'd say so.
So do you think that he should like what do you think, Rob?
So I'm just getting confused because you're going really slow for me. Ger's going normal, but I don't know if there's a glitch going on.
He dropped for a second, but I think he's back now.
That's cool.
Okay.
It's all contextual and it depends on the person's point of view. So like for me, if that was happening, I'd probably feel like I was being led on. But you don't know what the other person's going through, so it's really difficult. But I think that's where what Jer says comes in. Like it's the communication. Like if you bring up the fact that you feel like that's happening, and then they go, I understand why you're feeling that way based on what you've said. This is why this is the case. Then it's up for you to determine whether or not that's going to work for you, I guess, isn't it?
So you think he should directly ask her about her intentions?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, if that's what he's concerned about, like if he's happy with how it's going, which he obviously isn't because he's doing a Reddit post about
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you're asking fucking Reddit what's going on, you should probably just ask her.
Yeah,
or just give up because if you're asking Reddit, it's probably fucked already.
That's probably the big one.
Well,
how old is that post?
How old is it? I think it was last week. I think it was Rob actually. Hold on.
You definitely fucking ask ChatGPT or a friend before you put it on a Reddit post if it was in the last year.
yeah. Hold on, it's gone on me now, so I don't know where it's gone, but I have it on. But yeah, me personally, if I'm only seeing someone every 2 weeks and if I'm sending them a message and they're only getting back 2 days later, I'm like, no. Even or first of all, it's going to be she's not interested in you. Like, I think 98%, that's going to be the real reason is that they're not interested in you. Because, I mean, if you're interested in someone, like, come on, you have your phone on you 24/7. You're probably looking at your phone more times than you're not during the day. So if you're not replying to a message, it's probably because you're like, I'll message that person later when I'm not busy.
I saw a good video there 2 days ago where it was just a girl with a stopwatch, and she was talking about people responding to your message or not having time.
7 seconds or
and
something,
I think she was just like, I'm really busy at the moment. I really want to reply to you, but I'm going to have to do it later on. I'll talk to you then. And she clocked it at like 7-8 seconds. Do you know? And it's just that idea that like we all have a fucking moment, you know, to send that little message.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take you long, whether it's a voice note or a message, and people bring their phones everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it is still tricky. Like, I think if you actually care about the person you're wanting to get to know them dating wise, yes, it's easy to do that. But then if you are trying to keep in contact with clients, friends, family, 1 or 2 people that you might be dating, I know, yes, it does just add up to a few of those 7 seconds. But if you're constantly doing that every day, it can get difficult. But if it's the person that you're interested in dating, there's not really any excuse, I don't think, because that's kind of
Well, you kind of just answered the question though, didn't you? Because like, if it's someone that you're interested in, you're gonna probably make them a priority in terms of responding to them. Like, I don't respond to loads of people because I'm like, I've 20 messages in my Instagram inbox. I'm just gonna leave them there. I'll answer them Like, I'll answer clients when I'm ready. I'll answer, my friends when I'm ready, because
Just like you leave us in Limerick and drive off to do what you need to do in Bray.
Exactly. I prioritize this podcast once a week. Do you know what I mean? But like, that's what I mean. Like, if it's someone that you're interested in, you're going to have time to respond to them quicker than 48 hours. You're just choosing not to, and the reason that you're choosing not to is probably because you're probably not that into them.
Or go on.
I think, or you're just not interested in getting to know them, because if you've only been seeing them once every couple of weeks for a little while, you don't know them enough to determine. Well, maybe you do. I was going to say you don't really know them well enough to determine that you want to speak to them that much, because you don't know them. I'm saying the same words over and over again. Yeah.
Well, it's either you don't like them enough to just send that little message, or you're playing that game of I don't want to be that available, which is just a fucking shit way to do things. Like,
or you're messaging 20 people at the same time and you can't remember who you've messaged to, and
yeah. But then if you do care about that one person, then you look to see that message.
Yes, I agree.
Like,
also, then, on top of that, is waiting 6 months for a kiss, is it a boundary to respect, or just a sign of incompatibility that you just don't fancy that person?
I mean, it's definitely a boundary to respect, because if they've said that's the boundary and then you go for it and you're like, fuck, it's basically, definitely an invasion of their privacy or whatever their boundaries. So yes, it's to respect, but also it's for them to respect that that's not enough for you. If it's what you want.
Yeah, it goes both ways. You can't, like, if someone doesn't want to kiss you for 6 months but wants to get to know you, that's what they want to do. Yeah. If you don't want to do it, well, that's on you to call it out.
Okay, but here's the flip side of that. Okay, let's say this lad is like, I like this person, so I'll hold out for the 6 months, hoping that, then things will, start to move forward, and, but the reason she's not kissing him isn't because she's respecting her boundaries, because she's probably someone that she does like, she might kiss them in 2 weeks' time, or a week's time, or a first date. So it's like, could you potentially be just leading this person on rather than like she's respecting her boundaries?
Well, depends what she's doing. Like, that's the thing, you don't know. Like, if she's only seeing you and that's her boundary, then
we don't know, but we have to decide for this man.
I would put it. If we have to decide what he's going to do, you should start responding to these people afterwards as well. It's like, if you're sending the message into Reddit, I think you should end it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so we're all in agreement that he should move on from this woman.
If he's not going to talk to her, and he's not going to ask a friend, or not even fucking ChatGPT, like a public forum to see what should I do, he probably knows what he should do. He just wants someone else to decide it.
Either that, or he shouldn't be dating, and the reason why she doesn't want to commit.
She shouldn't either.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you another Reddit one. This is from a different male. What are signs that a woman isn't fully interested in you? By woman, I mean someone you've already talking to, but isn't interested in you as a priority. I know the obvious signs. I'm very socially aware, but the smaller signs, I'm not good at recognizing them. Like, women or even people in general aren't obviously going to straight up say, yeah, I don't care about you that much. But what are some subtle signs that I should just move on, and that they aren't interested intimately as a priority? What do you think are some smaller signs that she's not interested in you?
She's not asking questions back.
Ooh. Is this from personal experience?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
No, fair.
I think that's one of the things is, I mean, it won't happen all the time. Obviously, if they're busy, they're working, and they just want to respond. Mm-hmm. Fair play. They're not going to just be like, oh, I want to know whether or not he's doing this. But like, if it's consistently you directing the conversation, they're not interested. They're enjoying the attention. Maybe you're distracting them from something, but they don't want to know about you. And even if they are enjoying that, and they're like, oh, do you know what? I'm enjoying this relationship. Ger is really interested in me, or Carl's really interested in me. I'm going to keep going. But then you don't actually spend the time to get to know them. then they're messing you about. They're leading you on.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Jer?
I suppose like not making time to hang out or cancelling plans last minute would be a big thing without looking towards putting another plan in place. You know, if they act like if someone isn't if someone isn't asking you questions or you're leading the conversation, then they're not really interested in getting to know you. If someone doesn't make the time to hang out with you, then what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, the cancel. Now I'm gonna call myself out here, but the canceling thing is I think a big one, because loads of times I've like told someone that I would go on a date with them, and then the last minute, like, I'm at home and I'm working, or I have like, we've the podcast and I'm gonna edit it, and then I'm like, oh, after this I have to go meet someone and it's gonna be inconvenient, or beforehand, and then I just say, oh, I can't make it at the moment, sorry, I'm really busy in work, but we'll definitely reschedule, and then I don't reschedule.
That's not because of
so
work. That's because you're not in. You do
yeah, you're not interested because you're not making a plan for the reschedule, and
Yes.
you're
or
putting
you're
work ahead of
so
it.
or you're so interested, you're feeling anxious about it, so you're just going, do you know what? Rather than risking failing here, I'm going to do the stuff that I know I'm good at, and I'm
I,
going to win.
Yeah, very true. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes that's true on maybe like a first date with someone who, like, I don't know
Yeah,
who it is or how it's gonna go, and it's like, oh, I could meet this person and we could have a real awkward conversation, or I could just get some work done and then maybe go to the gym and then maybe see my friends. Which do I know? Which, in uncertainty versus knowing the outcome. At least I know with this outcome that I'm going to, be productive and I'm going to enjoy my hour, versus, spending time
yeah,
with this person that I don't know and having to ask them what's their favorite
Then you
color.
then you don't want to go.
yeah.
You don't want to go anyway, because unless it's a blind date with someone you've never met, you're either going to be interested in going or not. So if you're just like, I'll go to the gym, I'll do a little bit of work that I could do later or tomorrow, then you don't want to do the date.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true. And I don't
Yeah.
want to do the date most of the time, 90% of the time. Is there any other like small little subtle hints that they're not interested? So obviously, you're always the first to initiate conversation in texts. They're kind of short with their responses, maybe. They cancel last minute. Anything else?
Um,
There's probably loads.
Probably they don't tell anybody about you.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to go on a date, maybe not Carl. Carl will tell us afterwards so he can cancel first and then have another reason to.
Just in case
But
I went
like
badly as well.
most people are going to tell someone. I think a lot of times when you're really interested in someone, you might hold it back a little bit. But if you've been seeing someone on and off for a while, and nobody knows about it, I think that's a bit of a fucking sign as well.
Yeah, true.
Going back to what you were saying, Joe, about organising things, I think talking about the future as well. It doesn't necessarily need to be 2 years down the line or anything, obviously, but talking about, or the awkwardness around talking about the future. Like if it feels like they're really uncomfortable with talking about something that you suggested doing 2 weeks down the line, then you don't really.
Like I'm bad at organizing things, even though I did the event at the weekend. I think it's blinders on, focusing on something, like, we say for the event or work, like, it's you're constantly thinking about it, but like organizing stuff like dates or hangouts, when I want to do it, I kind of need to have a plan. Now that's my ADHD and my sprinkle of autism. Like I need to know what's going on, but
Yeah.
then if I don't have in the back of my head, like, Joe, Saturday we have these hours free, we'll do something. For me, when I say, Joe, we have these hours, we're both going to hang out for that and we'll do something, it means we will do something. I just haven't locked in exactly what we're going to do, but it's going to be fun and we're going to do it. But like, I think for some people, they find, if there is, like, I'm on the opposite side of it then as well. Like, if you don't know exactly what's going on, you presume there's no real interest in them doing something. Like, if I tell you I have 4 hours blocked out to go hang out with you, we're going to do something, but I may not know until day of or night before.
But at least you're talking about something in the
Doing
future,
something.
even if it's not properly organised.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do prefer, and I don't know if it's specifically women, but like a lot of people do prefer knowing something solid is happening. But yeah, if you've said these are the 4 hours I'm free, let's meet up, we'll make a plan, then that's fine. You're
That's-
at least showing an interest in the future.
It's also something I need to work on the opposite side, because I know if someone does that with me, I'm freaking out. Well, what are we going to do? Should I have this? Should I do this beforehand? Will I have time to do this afterwards? What will I wear?
Yeah, I was going to say, what should I wear?
What should I wear? Should I wear these shoes, or should I wear these shoes in case we're doing something else? It's so like it is funny that like I'm happy to go loosey goosey with it when I'm keen on hanging out, but when someone else is talking about doing it, I need to know the fucking plan.
I do
If
that.
someone's in control, you need to know what they've controlled.
Yeah, that's my control issues.
I do that as well. I'll like book in like a time slot, but then I'll have no idea what the plan is. But also, it's like if I've booked that time slot, then it's like, you know, things start to kind of because like I don't have a plan now, but the plan will come to me once I've put myself under the time pressure of that hour.
Yeah, I need a bit of pressure to like get the ideas flowing, but like we'll do something.
Yeah, you know
We'll do something. It won't be boring. That's for fucking sure. Like,
okay. I found on Substack. So I'm gonna read you out these 30 signs, and you can tell me if you agree with them or not. So 30 clear signs she's not that into you. So she rarely responds or takes forever. So we've nailed that one down. If it takes her 2 days to answer a simple text, she's not prioritizing you. Interested women make time. She never initiates contact. Rob, you said that. Her replies are always dry and boring, one-word answers, no question backs, no emoji, no energy. Yeah. She always seems too busy. Work, school, family. She cancels plans frequently. Jerry, you said that. She only hits you up when she needs something. So a ride, a favour. I don't think they meant the ride like that. I think they meant like I think they meant
double meanings.
I think they meant the lift somewhere, but maybe they do need that as well. Help with something, but just never to see you. That's using, not liking. She doesn't laugh at your jokes. Interesting one. Yeah, that's true. I think.
Well, you could also be shit at telling jokes.
Yeah, but
then she's still interested in you because you should be good at telling jokes.
But some people aren't funny.
Yeah, I know, but I think even if you're not funny, right? I think if you like someone, you find them funny in subtle little ways.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Whether it's sarcasm or in things they do,
just their demeanor and stuff like that. They could do like they might not be trying to be funny, but you find it funny.
This one's directed at they don't laugh at my jokes, so maybe your jokes aren't funny. Maybe they laugh at other things you do, but maybe you just aren't good at telling a joke.
Maybe they're right to not like you because you just don't have humour.
Yeah. John.
A woman who's into you finds you funnier than you really are. If she's stone faced, she's detached.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I suppose it goes with the one before. Like if you're a little bit funny, if they are interested in you, they're going to find you funnier.
Did any of you ever watch Modern Family when you were younger?
Yeah.
There's a great line where Phil says, he goes, you can take my wife, you can kiss her, you can sleep with her, but don't ever make her laugh.
I've seen that,
yeah, it's a good one.
So true. There's one better than making someone laugh.
I think it is important. It depends on how your brain functions and like whether there's any kind of autism there as well. But laughter is really important for connection. Just being able to have a good time, and even if it's not a funny situation, laughter comes with enjoyment. So even if you haven't told a funny joke, you're gonna laugh or smile.
I would hate to be in a relationship with someone the rest of my life who I can't have a laugh with, who doesn't find me hilarious, because let's be honest, you know.
Well, that might be something you need to work on. Okay,
she avoids physical touch. Oh, we've had that conversation. She doesn't flirt back. She talks to other men. That's definitely one I'd say.
Depends what
You
you
don't
mean
even
by
have to
that.
be in there. It's like she talks to other men.
Okay, so especially if she goes out of her way to tell you who she finds attractive, that's a silent rejection.
If she's not saying it to you directly as well, there needs to be like an intensity of how much. Like if I was to date someone,
Yeah.
and then I was going, oh, she's hot, oh, she's nice, oh, she's got a nice ass, whatever it is. If I wasn't saying that to her, I mean, I would never say those things anyway. But if I wasn't saying those things times 100 to her, I don't think she'd be well within her right to not be happy with me, I'd say.
If you're saying them, let's say if you're saying them things with her on a date.
I wouldn't. I don't think that's.
Well,
I don't think that's all
you're
right.
not going to have a very good fucking date anyway.
Oh, do you mean directly to her or to about other people?
Yeah, like oh yeah, look at her, she's good looking. Like to your date.
Yeah, no.
Wish I was having a drink with her.
Hold on a second, I gotta have to go tell her she's a nice arse.
I wish I was.
Hold
God,
that thought.
I wish I was on a date with her instead of.
I've been on dates where it's felt like that, to be honest. Like
Really?
So, for example, there was one. I mean, I've got another story that's not exactly great.
You have all the dating experience, so you're the best one to give us experience on this.
I'm not sure whether that's a compliment. Or not.
No, well, it is. Like I said, I just cancel and stay in my room doing work. So like, I don't think that's a.
He never leaves this plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was dating someone, and it was going to be short term because I was living in Cornwall. And I was going to be leaving Cornwall anyway, so it's kind of short term. They basically said to me, if she listens to this at all, she'll know exactly who I'm talking about because the next story is about her as well.
Anyway, we're allowed goss. It's
Yeah. It's what this is all about.
This is our podcast. We're allowed to talk about. We're allowed to talk about. We're allowed to
Tell us her name.
We're allowed to bitch about anybody that we
Her
want.
name and
on this
address
podcast.
is. Yeah.
Go ahead.
She basically said to me,
Her name is Hoey.
no, nothing to do with her. Let's not say that. I basically was on a date with her, or a few dates with her. We were chatting. We got on really well, and she was basically just like, if you had an arm sleeve, like tattooed arm, I'd propose to you right now, or I'd marry you right now. And I was like, okay, so you're basically saying everything about me is great, other than the fact that I don't have this painting on my arm. And I was like, okay, fair. Like, I'll take that as a sort of compliment, but also a little bit concerned about what your priorities are. So kind of glad this is short term. She's a lovely girl, by the way, like really, really nice. Just to get that out there. But she was then, when we were on a date, there were guys walking past, and maybe it's because she'd kind of put my mind on it, I don't know. But anyone that had a tattoo, it was just like, and it was like, I'm here. Why? So yeah, that kind of bothers me on a date.
Yeah, I think straight away it's a dick thing to say. No offense, but I'm like, well, I don't have a fucking tattoo. Or maybe I'll get one, but I'm not gonna get one now because you said it.
I don't think it's a no offense to like being on a date with someone and not pointing out that someone else is hot, or I think this is hot. You don't have this. It's like that. It should be a no go anyway.
That's like here's the equivalent to that, right? So you're sitting with a girl on a date and she has blonde hair, and you're like, oh, you know what? I just love brunettes. If you dyed your hair, I would get with you straight away.
Yeah, now you've put it into that context, that was a bit of a dick move, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is a dick move.
It was a dick move, not a bit. It was a dick move.
I think so. I've dated a few people, and I think sometimes I've brought insecurities up like that, and they've just gone, that's just your insecurities. Like, and it is technically, it wouldn't be an issue if I wasn't insecure about something, but you've also made it an insecurity by telling me I'm not good enough because I don't have this.
Yeah, sounds like gaslighting a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
It's okay to have insecurity. I think if you bring up an insecurity to someone and they're just like, oh, that's just your insecurities, like, well, fucking duh. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, but you probably should approach talking about it a lot fucking better than you're mentally weak, you useless fuck.
Funnily enough, the same person, and I hope she doesn't listen to this. So we'd been on a date, we'd had a few drinks, we'd gone back to hers, we'd hugged, and I was sat next to her. We were watching a film then on her iPad, and she was just on her phone. And I was like, I'm not going to look. Like, there's no need for me to see what she's doing on her phone. I'm going to watch this film. But then I did glance over, and I saw a message to this guy, and I was like, do you know what? Don't need to say any more. I'm sure it's just a friend. She's messaging him after the night out saying how great our night was. About 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, posting about him on Instagram. This is kind of like after I'd left Cornwall, posting about him on Instagram. Basically, they're together. She was messaging the guy that she was pursuing whilst in bed with me, and I'm like, I get this is casual, but there's got to be some sort of level of
That's
respect,
casual,
right?
all right. That's as casual as it gets. Jesus Christ, she was only short of inviting him over while you were still in the bed.
She'd probably kick me out. She'd be like, "Oh, can you just share the couch with the cats?"
Get out of this bed unless you have a sleeve on your arm, Rob.
Yeah, he has plenty of tattoos, so they should be happy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what's your I suppose that is also like a bit of a like concern if you have to look at if you're constantly finding yourself looking at your partner's phone or the person that you're seeing their phone. That's probably not a good sign either. But like there was obviously, you were right to kind of glance over as well because you're
well, we were right next to each other. It wasn't like I've previously in relationships. I have like, especially when I was like 16 or something. Yeah. I was just like, oh, I've seen a message come through. I'm gonna have a look at that. Oh shit, I've opened it now, and I've done that in the past. And like, I don't think there's any benefit to that because you just misconstrue what's been read anyway, written most of the time anyway, and it's their phone, like that's their property. But when they're doing it, like would have been like 30 centimeters away from each other, and she was just like phone in front of me. So it was, you're gonna look, not necessarily like, oh, I wonder what she's up to. Just there's a light.
There's no fear there on her part at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna message this other guy while I'm in bed with another guy.
Yeah. She was literally on Tinder after she.
Yeah.
I've been
swiping behind your back, like.
I've actually been on a date with someone who got their phone out and just started doing this mid-conversation, and I was like, "Sorry, what are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm just on Tinder. So I just wanted to show you this guy that I've been talking to." And I was like,
"That's wild.
This is our first date."
That's wild. And did you meet on Tinder?
Yeah.
I presume you didn't leave.
Do you know what? I can't remember the rest of that date, to be honest. I think I kind of just blocked everything else out. Yeah,
that's crazy. Wild. That's crazy. Like I think I'm bad, like in terms of like my behavior, but like that's wild. I would rather just not show up than like show up and show zero interest in the person. You know what I mean?
Here's who I'm talking to.
Yeah, it's just like. Yeah, it's eye-opening. I think we could probably do a whole episode on dates that I've been on. I've probably forgotten loads of them, but I could bring loads of them in.
Okay, well,
luckily, like 1% of them are like that usually, and it usually depends on how you approach it and how you go into it. Going, oh, I just want casual, or you make it obvious you just want casual, because then they're kind of like, this is just.
Well, that girl obviously made it casual anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's being casual and then there's being a dickhead.
Yeah.
You can be casual and wait until you're gone to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Maybe you give off the vibe of like, everybody come on into bed.
Yeah.
I'm not going to comment on that on this podcast.
But boys, girls, pets.
Yeah.
I'll
bring my own stool to sit in the corner.
Yeah, I'm just a simp. Is it? No, it's not a simp, is it? It's something like that. I'm a voyeur. Yeah.
What's the people called who get tied up and they put a bag over their head or something like that? And is it a gimp?
Probably something like that. Yeah.
Gimp has the mask.
Yeah. What about the lads who like get put an apple in their mouth and like they get tied up and then the girls like beat them up?
Is that BDSM or something?
That's BDSM, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So she's always on her phone around you. She doesn't remember things you tell her. She avoids being alone with you. She's
Can we go back one? You know the one where he says she's always on a phone with you?
Yeah.
If that's linked with she's also shit at responding to you, you're just like, well, you're with me and you're always on your phone. Why?
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah,
I think-
she's always on your phone around you, and yet when you're not with her, she doesn't respond to you.
Definitely had that. Yes.
That's that's an interesting one. If she'd rather scroll than connect, it says everything. She doesn't remember things you told her. A woman who likes you will pick up on the small details. If she forgets, she wasn't paying attention. She avoids being alone with you. Group settings only. No effort to spend one time. That's intentional. She's emotionally unavailable. If she keeps saying she's not ready for a relationship or figuring things out, believe her. What do we think about that one?
Yeah, she's telling you.
Yeah. I don't think we probably don't, and I don't think some of the women that I've dated have either actually meant sometimes what they say, because they're kind of either testing a boundary to see how you respond to it. They're saying it but don't actually know whether they believe it, but because they've said it, you should believe it.
Yeah,
And
I think you'd be better off believing it.
Yeah, like if you're saying that to test a boundary or test a reaction, then it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like fuck, like grow up, like.
Yeah.
Also,
So
you
at this
know,
point, just grow up. Like the whole fucking cat and mouse and playing games, and I'll text him here, or I'll wait so long to text, or I'll say this to see how they react. It's just fucking childish. Like
Not saying you're not ready for a relationship is basically saying I'm not ready. I don't want to. Not ready for that relationship is I'm not ready for a relationship with you.
yeah,
yeah, yes and no. I think definitely not with you, because otherwise they wouldn't be saying it in that moment. But I think a lot of the time, do you know, I might backtrack, because I think if you do meet the right person in the right moment, even if you're going through a shit time, you don't feel like you're ready with work, with lifestyle, with whatever, but you meet the right person in that moment and you click.
you're not going to fight it.
Yeah.
She doesn't compliment you. Women who like you will find little ways to hype you up. If it's radio silence, she's not attracted. What did you think?
Yeah. I think people have different ways of demonstrating things, don't they? So like,
But I love when a woman slags me.
Yeah, you also need a stool in the corner of a room as well. I think. Yeah.
you're a masochist.
Yeah, but I think that's just a bit of a thrill. It's banter there.
Yeah.
It's when it's a little different if you're both throwing it back and forth at each other compared to she's just putting you down.
We just shout at each other, scream. It's just toxic, you
But
know.
then, I think a lot of people, if they hear those negative thoughts, they're like, it's confirmation of what I already thought about myself, so therefore I feel safe with this environment. But then, because if you're in your head and you don't compliment yourself that much, you don't back yourself, hearing a compliment is then really uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So I can see why you would avoid that a little bit. And maybe they would avoid then complimenting you afterwards, because they're like, well, he didn't really respond to that very well. You're ugly, you don't have a tattoo sleeve, I don't fancy you, is sometimes the best way to respond to that.
Yeah.
Laugh at me, that was a joke.
No. I was. But sorry, I was pulling up these. I was pulling up these several cognitive biases and fallacies that cloud rational decision making in dating. So do you want to hear these? These are good. Okay. So you obviously know the sunk cost
You've not
fallacy.
got the option, I don't think.
Yeah, you're going to tell us anyway. So
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. You are listening anyway, but you can comment on them. So number one, the sunk cost fallacy. So you keep investing time, energy, or money into someone because you've already put a lot in, even if the connection isn't working. I've already been seeing her for months. I can't walk away now.
Yes, you can, and you should. If you're saying that, you need to walk away.
Yeah, that was my experience in my last relationship, because we had put so much time and effort into each other. Like we just kept on ignoring like the toxic behavior of the relationship and just kept trying to make it work.
I also think that's it's situational. I'm going to play the other side of this because,
yes, love that.
like, if you're going to do, like, if you're saying a couple of months and you put time into this, and you're like, I'm not going to bow out now because I put so much time. Not a long time. If you put in a couple of years with someone and we're fucking human. There's going to be problems within a relationship, outside of a relationship. it all depends on what the problems are, what level of toxicity they are. Are they resolvable? Are they not resolvable? Are you compatible, incompatible? I think every situation is different. So I think the whole I have put so much time into this, using that phrase to look at it is wrong. It's I love this person. I want to spend my life with this person. These issues can be worked on if we work on them together. But if you don't actually try to work on them, then you are wasting that time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I do also believe that there's like a culture of like, oh, if they're not respecting you, sack them off, blah blah blah. It's just like, all right, everything and everyone's replaceable. So
Yeah.
it's like just get rid of them.
The grass, the grass is always greener. I saw a good one. I was talking to a therapist about it. It's the 90-10 rule
Yeah,
with relationships. It's where we have 90% of everything we want in a relationship, but there's this 10% that we're missing.
yeah,
So we decide to go look for the 10% elsewhere. We get the 10% elsewhere, but we lose out on the 90.
yeah. That's so
So,
good. That's very
so
good.
rather than working on the 10, because relationship is work. You know, we joked about like going away and how like, you know, after a couple of weeks we might be sick of being in the one room together. Like this is you're
Oh,
like confined
we're not sleeping in the same room. I'm getting my own room away from you
in
two.
the same building together,
Okay,
but like,
that's
yeah, you're definitely getting your own room. You probably lock us out of the villa anyway. But like,
Like you
fucking,
did me.
but like, the idea is like, all of this stuff takes work. Do you know, if unless it's highly toxic, unless it's not resolvable, you are incompatible,
yeah.
then you're gonna have to fucking roll up your sleeves and come around. I think I saw one where it's everyone loves spring and summer, but autumn and winter rolls around.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, here's the second one. This one's for Rob. Halo effect. You overvalue someone because of one's attractive qualities, and ignore the red flags.
I love how that's for you.
Go on, explain why is that one for me, mate?
No, I'm just asking. Do you have any experience
Oh
with
right,
that?
okay. That was me just clearly projecting myself there.
Yeah.
Probably. Can you repeat the question? Because I
So
got defensive.
the second fallacy is the halo effect. So you overvalue someone because of one attractive quality. So they look good, basically. So you ignore they look good, or you have shared interests, or they have charm, or whatever it is. So you ignore other red flags.
Well, you're listing too many things there, man. Like it's either they're attractive and you're ignoring all the flags, or you find them attractive, you have similar interests, you find them
No,
charming.
no, no. You
So
no, you
it's-
you overvalue someone because of one attractive quality,
okay, all right.
and you ignore the red flags, the all the other things that aren't going well. Like they don't communicate. You see them once every 2 weeks. They're short with you.
I think
Yeah, go ahead.
I think for me, I'll see those one or two traits. I think if it's just one, I'll probably avoid it. But if it was like one or two and not many, and then I see all of the other things keep on cropping up as the dating continues, I don't think it's that I ignore them. I think it's that I try to fix them or at least try to discuss them to make them work for me, almost in a way.
Yeah.
But then you kind of then get in this spiral of you're trying to work on these things, you feel like you're working on them, you now have invested that time, the sunk cost fallacy, you've invested that time in it, and you've gone, oh well, we've gotten to this point, we've manipulated each other emotionally and physically, and we're now in this position where we should work, and it doesn't, and then I think you just get yourself in a bit of a negative headspace. Definitely done that, but I think learning from it potentially.
Yeah, I think everyone's done that. Confirmation bias. So you selectively notice the signs that she likes you and downplay the ones that show disinterest. Like she only texts me every few days, but she did smile when I told that joke, so she must be into me.
Um. Yeah, well, it's just I suppose you want something, so you're just gonna ignore everything else. You know, it's like you see lads on nights out, and it's like she looked at me, she obviously wants to come home with me. That kind of everyone's God's gift to fucking pulling a woman. It's just like, oh, she looked in my direction or she smiled at me. And it was like, not that you've been staring at her for the last 5 minutes and she has to awkwardly smile, so you fuck off.
Yeah, or she works there and she's smiling at you because it's like customer
Yeah,
service.
yeah, that kind of way.
Okay,
That's it. I
Sorry,
think
go
when I was
ahead,
about
Rob.
16, sorry,
Go
when I
ahead.
was like 16, I went to this football game with my mate, and he didn't let me live it down. Basically, just going to get a pie or something, and the girl behind the counter smiled at me, and I was like, "Nah, that wasn't just like that wasn't a smile. That was a smile." And he was just like, "Nah, mate, just get over it." But I couldn't stop thinking about it for like a couple of days, and I was like, "She just smiled at you. She thanked you for giving her money for this pie," and it's yeah, daft,
Yeah,
daft little.
I think I remember reading something where it's like men overly estimate that girls like them, whereas girls underestimate or something like that.
Okay.
I'll have to find. I'll bring that research into the next.
Is that because like, getting compliments or men having a woman smile at them is a big deal, whereas the opposite way around, women are sick of men leering at them and giving them compliments they don't want.
Possibly, yeah. Like I would say so. It might be that, or also like men are just here. Here it is. Here, so what the research suggests: the sexual overperception bias is a well documented phenomenon. Men tend to overperceive a woman's sexual interest in them more than women overperceive men's. In a speed dating study, men were more likely than women to say that the other person showed interest than was reported. Some theories argue it's safer from an evolutionary perspective for men to assume interest and risk being wrong rather than missing a potential opportunity. Beyond sexual interest, there's also research showing men tend to overestimate their own attractiveness in general more than women do.
Yeah, like, how often do men get approached by women to be asked out on a date or show an interest? Not like, I can imagine the numbers are very fucking low.
Yeah.
So like for men, it's a case of, like, I won't know unless I ask her. Maybe that smile did mean something. Maybe it didn't. Maybe she just handed me food and she works there, so her smile is part of her job.
Yeah.
That kind of way. Like, certain situations, you won't know till you ask. And it was like, John, you only miss the shots you don't shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably more beneficial for men to be a little bit ignorant and to go for it rather than kind of sit on the fence.
I think I said it the last. We're talking about the dating apps the last day. Bumble, like how Bumble, it's you match and then the woman has to message you first.
Yeah.
And we always joke about, like, lads, how do I message them? What do I say to them first? And you're there trying to come up with a witty line or something that's going to engage them. And then you go to this app and then all you get is, hey.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God, she's actually talked to me.
I'd love to know the percentages of like dates on that app. Like, does that? I wonder, like does that method work? Is it more successful or less successful than other dating apps?
I
Because
reckon it's probably less,
yeah,
partly because earlier this year I went on Bumble and actually they've altered it. So they now give you the opportunity for the woman to give a prompt for the man to respond to. So they're trying to up the engagement that way. I guess you've got the choice still, so you don't have to put a prompt.
yeah, because
But if you do,
that's like just because like that's never how things have been. So like it's not. I don't think it's in a woman's nature to be the, you know,
The instigator.
yeah, instigator. But I think it's fundamentally biologically, put on the male to proceed.
there's been a lot of profiles that I've seen on dating apps as well that go, don't expect me to message first because I'm scared of rejection or something like that. And I think
Yeah,
they're just the honest people that are going, they're saying what everyone else is thinking, really.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's human nature. Projection. You assume she feels what you feel just because you like her. Example: you're thinking about her all day, so you tell yourself she must be shy. That's why she's not showing interest. When in reality, she doesn't care.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
sad.
I think that's kind of what lads do, though. No, you even said it at the very start of the podcast, where it's like, oh yeah, well, like, you know, maybe she's busy, you know, maybe she has loads of things on, when in reality she probably just didn't want to text that man. That's why she didn't text him for like 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say there.
I suppose it all depends on the day and on the person, how much you like them and different stuff. Like it's your insecurities. Like, why aren't they messaging me? Do you know? Like, I messaged them there at like 9 o'clock. Who cares if they have an 8 hour job that they have to be switched on for the entire time? You should find fucking 2 seconds. Like, it goes both ways. It is like, you could. We said it earlier. If you wanted to really talk to someone, you should be able to take the 10 seconds to just go, "I'm busy now. I'll catch up with you later."
Here's another one as well. I have two more left. So the scarcity effect and the gambler's fallacy. So the scarcity effect, you mistake her lack of attention as proof she's high value instead of seeing that she's not interested. An example would be she only sees you every couple of weeks, so you convince yourself she must be really special, when actually she's just not prioritizing you, or she's really busy because she's really important, but in fact she's just not prioritizing you.
I think it's similar when they reject you at the end of the day as well. You kind of go, oh, well, I've been rejected, therefore they must be more valuable than me. I am now even more interested in them than I was in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing for a lot of people, not projecting anything of my own experience at all. But yeah, as soon as that rejection hits, it's like, oh, I need to now be better for this person.
Question here. Okay. Do you think that the scarcity effect works well on like virgins versus, like, let's say a Bonnie Blue who has like gone through half of the UK?
What do you mean? Sorry. So
what I mean by that is, like, all right, so scarcity effects, right? So because like not so many people, let's say this girl's waiting for marriage or something like that, right? She's 21, you're 24, 23. You know that she hasn't been with anyone because
Right.
she's waiting for marriage, versus someone you know who's the same age, who has, you know, ran through half of the town that you live in.
Yeah, the 21-year-old waiting for marriage is going to be more keen on you showing interest, and the one who's gotten around is gonna respond more to the scarcity side of it. Like, it's the old fucking saying. It's awful. Like, treat them mean, keep them keen. But like, if you break it down into something that, like, if you're not as available to this person that thinks you should be like thrown down in front of them, they are going to question why you're not doing it. We've seen it on nights out. We've seen it where, like, you know, a group of lads, 5, 6 lads, they're all chasing after this one woman, and the one lad that isn't chasing her, she's wondering why he isn't.
Yeah. But I was thinking that even in the sense of, right, it's like, oh, this girl is not getting with everyone. So because she's not getting with everyone, then if she chooses me, that's more valuable than, because that's the scarcity effect. Then the girl that's choosing me, who's been through everyone.
I don't know.
Does
I
that
don't
not
know,
make
man.
sense?
It makes sense what you're saying, but like, there's a catch to it. Like, the girl who's saving herself, and then she picks you. To you, it will make you seem more valuable because out of everyone she could have picked, she's picked you. But
Exactly.
she also has no experience.
Okay,
So
okay. Let's maybe not use the extreme example. She's not saving herself. Maybe she's only been with one or two people, versus, and she's very like picky of who she chooses, versus the person who gets with everyone.
yeah, it's going to make you feel more valuable.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah,
Of course it will.
whether you actually are or not is a different thing, but it will make you feel that way.
Well, and that's all that really matters, is how I feel. Okay, last one. The gamblers. The
I mean, at the
gamblers.
end of the day, it's your reality. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So last one, gambler's fallacy. You believe that if you stick, you believe if you keep sticking around, things will eventually turn in your favor. Example: she's rejected me a few times, but I'll keep patient. If I keep patient, she'll eventually realize how good I am for her.
Uh,
Anyone have any experience of that one?
yeah. That's different versions of it. All right. Suppose it kind of depends. Like I was only thinking there, like off the last one. Like, are we all just sitting around just going, you know, my worth is so much up here. Fuck them if they're not doing this, and then we're all just going to end up alone because the egos are so high that we're not meeting anyone in the middle. You know, whether it's arguments or whether it's this he has that one little thing I'm not sure about, but I love the rest of it. It's the gambler one is kind of weird because like if it's someone that you haven't been with,
Yeah.
they're just rejecting you. At some point, you might need to realize that like you need to fuck off to other pastures.
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
know.
but there's also there's that like push and pull of us like okay sometimes someone might not like you at the start, but like if you're persistent and you show that you care, they might open up, and then it's like oh, and then it ends up becoming like you've like I have friends who is like oh yeah, she rejected me on the first time, she rejected me the first time and the second time, but I kept asking her out, and now we're going out, now we have kids and we're married and everything, like so
Yeah.
that kind of thing can be true, but
How
then
how
also
the how the fuck are you meant to know? Like this is the problem with it. Like with the like we don't want to go into fucking yes means yes and no means no, but like that situation where your man's been rejected a couple of times, now they're married with kids. Had he just decided after the first rejection to be like, right, well that's not for me, then I'm gone, he now wouldn't be married. I'll say happily married with two kids.
yeah, yeah. But then you could also put it on on the flip side of that and be like, well, I've already told you no 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
Like, stop annoying me.
but
Get
this
out of
this
get out of my garden.
yeah, well, no, a little bit different. It's like I've told you 3 times that if you keep hiding in the bushes, they're gonna ring the guards. A little bit fucking different, like, but
Stop
it's
stop ringing me on a UK number. I know it's you.
using a payphone in the middle of the night to breathe down the phone. It's not fuck. But that's the problem. Then you're just constantly in no man's land with it.
You are. It's like why
What?
not? Like either I'm making the effort and I'm persistent, or I'm a stalker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
suppose it depends on how you go about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you think, Rob?
I think, yeah, like you just said there, Joe, I think it depends on how you go about it, but also how they respond. If they're literally just saying, no, I can't do this weekend, and then they don't respond, and then you ask them again in a few more weeks, and then they go, no, I don't want to this weekend. Then asking again is all right, I think. But if they go, no, I'm really not that interested in you, and please stop messaging me, don't ask again.
There's
I
a
think you
great
kind of got to respect that boundary.
there's, there's a there's a great meme, and it's like hey, do you want to hang out tonight? And she goes no, and then he replies and goes, I was only being polite, I'm outside your house. Oh, okay. Anyway, enough about the memes. All right, I think we'll leave it there. I think we got through some solid stuff, and I'll see if I can send this podcast to that Reddit lad. See if we've give him some quality advice. I doubt it.